Mangalam, did you know that 1 in every 5 orders which is placed online, you will either find a kurta or a sari or some or the other form of ethnic wear?
Well, for sure, in my household, in my case as well, because I love buying kurtas and jackets.
Well, I knew this form of clothing is popular, but I did not know it is this popular.
It is, and that's what makes it on top of mind. And not just on top of mind, on us as well. This is the Mad About Markets season finale, and we're talking about India's ethnic wear market.
So let's dive right in, because, you know, what's driven this kind of growth that we're speaking about? And there are several factors that have contributed to it, and we'll get right to that. First of all, we have many occasions here in India to wear ethnic clothing, from festivals to weddings to multiple wedding festivities. I mean, there's a different outfit for haldi, a different one for mehendi, you name it. So one celebration after another. Next up, you also have the increasing presence of brands and designers which are specializing now in ethnic wear, and that has really boosted its popularity even more, and people are spoilt for choice. You also have rising income levels and a stronger sense of pride in our Indian culture. That's also played a significant role in the surge of the sale of these kind of clothes, and the addition of new categories like Indo-Western, for instance, that has also expanded the horizon of ethnic fashion, and it appeals to a wider audience that may not necessarily wear just plain ghagra choli, I suppose.
Well, the addition of Indo-Western definitely has added a lot of options to men who would otherwise wear a kurta or at best accessorize it with a dupatta or...
Perhaps.
You know, but it's a big market. Let's tell you how big it actually is. According to CRISIL, the wedding and celebration wear accounts for nearly 57% of the ethnic wear market, and casual ethnic wear makes up for the remaining 43%, still dominated by weddings.
Absolutely.
But in consumer segments, it's women, women and women all the way. I mean, 81% of the share of India's ethnic wear is belonging to women. Menswear, just about 10%.
I mean, no surprises there, really. We have a lot more options than perhaps what you guys
have a lot
would.
more options, a lot more occasions, and a lot more clothes to wear for those occasions. Guys can wear the same kurta for over 5 years or so. But, you know, the kids wear also makes up for a remaining 9%, not a market to be ignored.
Yeah.
And if you compare the market trends over the years, in FY15, the Western wear dominated the overall market share with 65%, whereas ethnic wear was just about 35%. By FY25, ethnic wear is projected to claim 28% of the market share itself. So Western wear, while it will continue to dominate the market itself will grow a lot bigger, and that is where the opportunity is. So in terms of percentage, while it might decline, remember the pie is increasing at a much faster clip.
Well, before we talk about how large that pie is going to be, why don't we invite in our guests and get their take on how big the opportunity really is? We have Sooraj Bhatt, the Chief Executive Officer of the ethnic business at Aditya Birla Fashion and Retail, and Bidyut Bhanjdeo, who is the Chief Business Officer of Ethnics by Raymond, joining in now. Bidyut, let me start with you. The kurta ethnic wear business, it's been around for a while. What suddenly changed for it to become, you know, such a fashion, trendy, it thing?
So this is a trend which has been there for, let's say, the last 5 to 7 years, where initially people were wearing in parts of the country ethnic wear in their marriages. But it had started gaining popularity driven by two trends. One, a lot of promotion on television, on the soap operas that we see on television, and some big bang movies, Hindi movies, which actually showed large family weddings, all dressed up in ethnic wear. So that's where the trend sort of started, and it got caught up. People started accepting this as a trend. And the second part is this entire thing about being the pride of being an Indian, going back to your roots, going back to your traditions. That is there for the last 5, 6 years. You know that their entire story about India is very alive, and people want to wear something which is traditionally their own attire. So these are the two trends which really made people come to this category, the Indian ethnic wear. And secondly, obviously, the entire accessibility part, where you have a lot of stores opening in your neighborhood, more brands getting into it. So this also helped grow that trend much faster. And it's not only wedding wear anymore. I mean, it's people who come to attend weddings no longer wear any kind of a formal clothes. They would love to wear something which is ethnic. If you're having a small function in your house, be it a puja, be it a griha pravesh, whatever it is, or you're being invited to such a function, people would love to wear something which is ethnic and it sort of be dressed for the occasion.
All right, too many occasions, but Sooraj, you know, AB Fashion and Retail had near zero presence in ethnic wear until 2 or 3 years ago. What changed for you to have pivoted towards this segment in the years since, and how large do you think is the opportunity?
I think the most important thing with the segment is the opportunity that it has. It's one of the largest apparel market in the country. Our estimate puts it around more than 120,000 crores at this point in time. So the opportunity there is what drove us towards creating this portfolio.
1,20,000 crores, that's quite a size. I mean, how is this expected to grow on this huge base as per your estimates?
The overall size of the ethnic market is over 120,000 crores with a low penetration of the branded segment. And that's the opportunity that we are seeing for the market is largely dominated by unorganized players. As we put our portfolio into play and drive our growth agenda, we see more and more share coming to organized players, including us.
All right, now that we've got some numbers from our guests, let's actually do the number crunching for you here. The apparel market for India in FY20, that was seen at 5,674 billion rupees as of FY20. It is expected to grow all the way to 8,200 billion rupees by FY25. And within that, the ethnic wear opportunity is expected to grow from 1,800 to near 2,400 billion rupees. Now, if you look at the branded wear penetration in the ethnic wear market, that was at about 19% in FY15. In 10 years, that is expected to go all the way to 50%. That is significant opportunity for players.
This massive growth opportunity that you're talking about, right? The market doubles in the last 10 years, and in that branded penetration doubles as well. So that's 4 times the size. And like you pointed out, Ritu, 2,400 billion rupees by FY25. That's the overall ethnic wear market. Most of that, nearly 60% of that, would come in from celebration wear itself. Weddings, festivities, occasions around these celebrations itself. Close to 1,400 billion rupees. That's a big opportunity.
And there are players in the listed space catering specifically to that. So we'll talk about all of that and how large an opportunity it is. But let's zoom in on celebration wear and what it is.
Celebration wear, 90% led by women, just as ethnic wear itself is led by women as well. 950 to 1,000 billion rupees by FY25 will be celebration wear in ethnics for women itself. And men, as compared to women, will be a very small size, but on an absolute basis, not small at all. 170 to 180 billion rupees itself. So we're talking about niches which are growing extremely fast.
And that's something to write home about. But where are people buying these? What are the sales channel mix looking like?
You remember you said at the start that 1 in 5 orders contains a kurti or a sari in e-commerce? Well, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Because if you look at it, 40% of the sales come in from exclusive branded outlets, which is the likes of Manyavar and all these stores that you're talking about. Large format stores account for another 40%. So 80% happens offline. In fact, you add multi-brand stores to it. 95% of ethnic wear is bought offline itself. And then e-commerce, which is fast growing, is still 5%. So if you think that e-commerce accounts for 20% of, or rather ethnic wear accounts for 20% of e-commerce sales, just look at the iceberg in its entirety.
Well, that's one segment that's set to go. But large format stores, exclusive brand retail outlets, those are here to stay. But as of now, exclusive brand outlets in metros and tier 1 cities, they account for 60 to 75% of the total EBO, which is the exclusive brand outlet network for most brands, which includes the likes of your Global Desi, your Manyavar, Fab India, W, etc. Now, India approximately has 4,000 plus cities and towns, and that includes about 430 cities with more than 1 lakh of population. And that indicates a large potential for growth among these ethnic apparel retailers. Now, while there is adequate potential left in the metros and tier 1 cities, tier 2 and 3 markets hold further opportunities, strong potential for brands to expand, as we keep telling you here on Mad About Markets.
Yes, we just spoke about the entire Bharat opportunity, and this is just one of those examples out there. But, Bidyut, how big do you think is the market, and what are the segments growing faster in the overall market?
Yeah, so if you look at the entire, now I'll talk a little bit about the men's ethnic wear because that's the segment that we are talking about. The overall men's ethnic wear business was around 17,000 odd crores in the year 2020. And it's cited to grow to around 24,000 crores, which is a CAGR of around 6%. But what really has happened in this is that there was a lot of unorganized players here. Around 70% of the market was actually unorganized. where you actually have high streets which specifically cater to these occasions, and a lot of them were actually unorganized. But with the entry of some of the organized players, that conversion from unorganized to organized is happening very fast. So organized, which is supposed to be around 5,000 odd crores by 2020, is supposed to grow to around close to 9,000 crores by 2025. Now that's a CAGR of close to 15 odd %. Now, obviously, the share of organized is going to grow from a 30% to 40%, and unorganized is going to reduce from 70 to 60. And we expect that by 2027, it's going to be a 50-50 kind of a share between organized and unorganized.
Well, the men's grooming itself is expected to be a 9,000 crore rupee opportunity. But Sooraj, are there particular segments that are growing more than the others when you look at the overall market?
We see the segments largely bucketed into four. There is the value segment, there is premium, there is bridge to luxury and luxury. The contribution of bridge to luxury and luxury is around 30%, which is quite high given the way various categories pan out. And this segment of bridge to luxury and luxury, we foresee will have the maximum growth, followed by the premium segment.
Well, hold your thoughts, gentlemen. We'll come back to you in just a bit. But, this large potential of the market we've been speaking about, it's not surprising, really, that corporate India has been in a deal-signing frenzy of sorts in the last few years in the ethnic wear space. And they've built up some impressive portfolios. On your wall now, Reliance, for instance, you have everyone from Satyapal, Raghvendra Rathore, Manish Malhotra, Ritu Kumar, Anamika Khanna, Abu Jani, Sandeep Khosa. All of them have strategic relationships with Reliance. Then you have Aditya Birla Fashion Retail, who we've been speaking with, Jaipur, Shantanu and Nikhil, Sabyasachi, Masaba, TCNS, the most recent deal that they've signed. In Tata Group, you have, brands like Bark, you have Tanera, Bombay Paisley and so on. And then, of course, Raymond as well, who we've been speaking with, has their very own ethnics.
Well, let's go across to Bidyut from ethnics itself. Bidyut, how do you segment the market? I mean, Manyavar is the leader by far, and a lot of corporates, like Ritu pointed out, have entered and gotten into strategic partnerships as well. What are your thoughts on competition then?
Segment is typically, you have the entire premium segment, as we say. Then you have a value segment, where there are a lot of local players which are there, and they're specific to every city, every state. Then there are these bridge to luxury players where you have a certain endorsement coming in or a certain designer who's trying to commercialize their brand by tying up with some big corporates and trying to enter the market. And then on top of that, you have the absolute designers where they have 4 to 5 boutiques across the country, and it's a very niche kind of a segment. So we play in the entire premium segment, which is above value, and our competition is all the brands that you have today, which is the Manyavar or a Tasva. These are the kind of brands which are there as competition for us. So we were a little late entrant into this field. However, Raymond is synonymous with marriages because normally people buy their first marriage suit from a Raymond store. So we had the right to win in this space. So therefore we said that why not also expand into a category which is becoming more and more popular in the country and cover the entire occasion wear space, including marriages. So when we went in, we decided that how do you differentiate your product? So we used the Raymond design ethos, and we took all our inspirations from Indian art forms. So some of our inspirations are the palaces of Rajasthan, the carvings there. We've taken some inspirations from Banaras, the ghats of Banaras. So we take these kind of inspirations. We also source some of our fabrics from these weaver communities based out of Banaras.
Sooraj, what's your sense in terms of competition? Because, we were speaking about all of these partnerships that various corporates have. Are you looking at more acquisitions to grow? Are you looking at partnerships, or are you looking to launch your own labels?
I think we see essentially it's going to be about investing behind the brands. Our portfolio is such that we believe that they have the potential to scale up and become large in every individual segment. One of the biggest investments going in will be to just create retail expansion and to create retail experience for each of our brands. and over a period of time build stronger and stronger connect with consumers and make the brands quite formidable.
Bidyut, Sooraj, enough about strategy, competition and all that. Just let's put numbers. How big will your ethnic wear business be over the next few years?
I think we have a stated ambition of taking it around 5,000 crores in the next few years. There are quite a few aspects that will drive, but most importantly, it's our belief in the segment and the brands that we have in our portfolio and driving growth through both organic and inorganic means.
So our current run rate is around annualized. We are looking to cross 150 crores this year, around that size. We are small, so therefore we're looking at a growth of around 3x year on year, all dependent on the number of stores that we're opening every year. And at this point of time, at a EBITDA level, it is not positive, primarily because we are investing ahead of the curve in marketing and advertising. So it's a new brand, so there has to be an overall awareness for ethnics.
Well, a 3 times growth in revenue each year for Raymond and a 5,000 crore revenue target in the next few years for Aditya Birla Fashion. That's what we've been speaking about here, but we have to take a short break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to come back and talk about what works, what doesn't, the yeas and the mays.
And as always, the bigger question, and this time around the bigger question is, will India's ethnic wear market sue the next thread of fashion success? Stay tuned.